those who said I couldn't rap, now how does it feel to be losing? She played the song before you started. Play the song.
I mean, the best thing I could do for the people is
like people play the song. Nah, she played the song quickly before you start. I'm
on the road, I'm racing for gold, and none of them know, and none of them know. I'm pressing the flow, I'm ready to go, I'm running the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Please make sure to subscribe, click on that notification bell, and let me know what you think about this video. So, we're gonna be reacting to what Bafana did today, especially at 3 AM. I was not able to actually check the game, but I know that we won, so we're gonna be reviewing that. Yes, indeed, that is the main focus today. I don't care what anybody else says. Viva South Africa! Viva Bafana! Danko. After that, we're gonna talk about MJ a little bit, about his anniversary passing. And on top of that, we are going to step into a discussion in regards, and that is YGFXB. Make sure to subscribe to him, check out his content as well.
Sir, you know what it is, man.
So, there is also apart from MJ, make sure it's going to be related to GTA 6 content, about what's up, what's happening, because we are aware that a pre-sale, pre-order was made available from midnight. So I do believe this is going to be an interesting. We are aware that a pre-sale, pre-order was made available from midnight, so I do believe this is gonna be an interesting. And now, next up, we're gonna talk about MJ's anniversary.
Death has been surrounded by conspiracy theories for over 16 years, but the strange part is you don't even need a conspiracy theory to find this story disturbing, because the official version is already hard enough to process. Michael Jackson wasn't found in some hospital room. He wasn't surrounded by a full medical team. He wasn't under anesthesia for surgery. He was inside his own bedroom. And the drug at the center of everything wasn't a regular sleeping pill. It was propofol, a powerful anesthetic, usually used in medical settings, known as the milk of anesthesia in the medical world. Michael referred to it as milk. And according to Conrad Murray, Michael Jackson's personal physician, it was the one thing Michael believed could finally put him to sleep. But that was only one side of the story, because one day Michael Jackson was preparing for one of the biggest comebacks in music history. And the next day, the world found out he was gone. And when the 911 call was made from Michael's home, one of the most chilling details was that the caller told dispatch the doctor was the only person there with him. So if Michael Jackson had a doctor right there with him, how did this even happen? This video isn't about proving some wild conspiracy. It's about the official findings, testimony, and reporting surrounding how Michael Jackson died, and why even after all these years, the whole thing still never really made sense. Michael Jackson, the king of pop. By 2009, he was preparing for This Is It, a 50-show concert residency scheduled to take place at the O2 Arena in London. The first show was set for July 13, 2009, which meant that by the final week of June, rehearsals were already in their final stretch. But according to people involved in the production, there were concerns behind the scenes. On June 19th, Michael Jackson showed up to rehearsals, but his condition raised concern among the people around him. The next day, a meeting was held at his home to discuss what had happened and whether he was ready to continue. After that, rehearsals continued, and June 24th, Michael was back working on a show. Footage from those final rehearsals will later become part of the documentary, Michael Jackson's This Is It. So before everything happened, Michael Jackson's final week was a mix of preparation, pressure, and concern, with one of the biggest comebacks in music history still moving forward, or at least that's what was supposed to happen. But behind that comeback, there was another problem happening in private. According to Murray and later testimony, Michael Jackson just couldn't sleep. And that might sound simple at first because a lot of people struggle with sleep. I'm kind of going through it with sleep right now myself. But keep in mind, this wasn't happening in like a normal session of his life. He was weeks away from a massive comeback. Rehearsals were intensifying, and according to Murray's version, Michael felt like if he didn't sleep, he couldn't function. Makes a lot of sense. Now in Michael's case, the sleep problem had gone way beyond normal insomnia. He just wasn't able to sleep, like he had so many issues with it. But before we get into what was being used to help Michael sleep, we have to talk about Conrad Murray. Because Conrad Murray wasn't just a doctor who randomly appeared in Michael Jackson's bedroom on June 25th, 2009. According to Murray's version, He first met Michael back in 2006, years before This Is It was supposed to happen. At the time, Murray was a cardiologist with practices in Las Vegas and Houston, Texas. And according to Murray, the connection started through one of his patient's sons, a man he described as Michael's security guard, who referred him when Michael and his children were dealing with what Murray called a family flu illness. So at first, Murray wasn't this full-time doctor living inside Michael's world. He was just a physician Michael had been referred to during a health situation in Las Vegas. But over time, that relationship grew into something much more personal. By 2009, when Michael was preparing for This Is It, Murray wasn't just some outside physician Michael visited once in a while. According to Murray's interview, by the final stretch, he said he was spending every night at Michael's house except Sundays, at Michael's request. Michael apparently wanted Murray to come with him to London for the concert run, and the arrangement being discussed would have paid Murray $150,000 a month. Pretty good money, right? Now once you understand that, you start seeing the relationship differently. So this wasn't just a normal doctor-patient situation anymore. Michael was preparing for one of the biggest comebacks in music history and of his life. There was a lot of money and resources invested in this entire thing. Fans around the world were waiting, and Murray was being placed in a position where his job was basically to keep Michael functioning through all of it. Now to be fair, Michael reportedly trusted Murray, and that trust is of course important, because when somebody is struggling with something as personal as sleep, they're not just looking for a prescription. They're looking for somebody they believe understands them. But that's also where the situation becomes dangerous. Because when a doctor becomes that close to a patient, especially a patient as powerful, isolated, and pressured as Michael Jackson, the line between medical care and personal service can start to blur. And in this case, the thing at the center of that blurred line was sleep. So let me paint the picture for you, okay? Michael was in the final stretch of rehearsing for This Is It. This was supposed to be his big return, 50 shows in London, a massive production, fans were waiting, money on the line, all that stuff, right? So there was a whole machine moving around him. And in the middle of all that, his sleep issues became like just really bad. Now this is something Michael had reportedly struggled with before. Sleep had been an issue for him, especially after performances and during intense work periods. So this wasn't a situation where it's like a one random night, he can't fall asleep. It had been like a real problem in his life before. But by the time he was preparing for This Is It, that problem wasn't being treated like regular insomnia anymore. It was becoming one of the most frustrating parts of his life. Because when you're rehearsing for one of the biggest comebacks in music history, sleep isn't just sleep. Sleep is recovery. Sleep is energy. Sleep is the thing that determines whether you can show up the next day and perform or not. And according to Conrad Murray's version of events, Michael felt that pressure. Fast forward to June 2009. Michael spends the day rehearsing for This Is It. And from the outside looking in, things seemed like they were moving forward. He was back at rehearsal, the show was still coming together, the comeback was still alive. But after rehearsal ended and Michael returned home, the private side of the story started. According to Murray, Michael got home shortly after 1 a.m. in the morning. He showered, got settled, and then the same problem was waiting for him. He was exhausted, but he couldn't sleep. And from that point on, Murray's version is that the night turned into hours of him trying to get Michael to rest. According to him, he tried giving Michael milder sedatives through the night before resorting to propofol. In the recorded police interview, Murray described giving Michael things like Valium, lorazepam, and midazolam at different points through the night. But according to him, Michael remained awake and kept complaining that he needed sleep. And that detail is important, because in Murray's version, this wasn't a situation where Michael couldn't sleep and immediately jumped to the strongest thing possible. According to what Conrad was saying, multiple medications had already been tried throughout the night, and Michael still wasn't sleeping. So by the morning, the situation had escalated. By around 10 a.m., according to Murray, Michael asked for propofol, the white anesthetic he referred to as milk. Murray said Michael asked, please, give me some milk so that I can sleep, because it was all that really works for him. And when Conrad Murray brought up rehearsals, he claimed Michael told him, just make me sleep, doesn't matter what time I get up. He also claimed Michael said he couldn't function if he didn't sleep. So if Conrad's version is true, Michael wasn't describing this like something casual. He was describing desperation. He was describing a need to finally shut down and sleep. But that's exactly why Murray's role mattered so much. Because here's the thing, a doctor's job, especially like a private one in this type of situation where you can get really close to the patient, a doctor's job is not to just give a patient what they want. A doctor's job is to protect the patient from the thing they're asking for, especially when that thing could kill them. You're there to help this person, not to surrender to their demands. Not to become so close to the patient that your medical judgment starts getting replaced by loyalty, pressure, or fear of saying no. And that's the moment where this case crosses a line. Because propofol is not a normal sleep medication. It's not Ambien, it's not melatonin. It's not something you take because you're stressed and need to rest. Propofol is a powerful anesthetic, usually connected to medical procedures, and according to expert testimony, propofol had no real place being used as sleep aid in a private bedroom without proper safeguards. But according to Conrad Murray, Michael kept asking. He described Michael as persistent. Now again, this is Conrad Murray's version, and that matters, because later on, prosecutors would challenge the idea that this was just some small controlled dose. But even if you only listen to Murray's own story, the picture is still disturbing, because the way he framed the night was basically this. He tried to help Michael to sleep. Michael kept asking for propofol. Murray stepped away for a brief moment, and somehow in that short window, Michael ended up not breathing. In other words, Murray's version placed a lot of the pressure back on Michael. Michael wanted the drug, Michael knew about the drug, Michael kept asking for it. And later, the defense would take that even further by suggesting Michael may have administered the fatal dose himself while Murray wasn't in the room. Because even if Michael wanted propofol, even if he begged for it, even if he believed it was the only thing that could finally put him to sleep, Murray was still the doctor. And by the morning of June 25th, Michael Jackson's sleep problem had turned into a medical situation involving IV sedatives, a private bedroom, and a surgical anesthetic. And the comeback wasn't even the most urgent thing anymore. The urgent thing was getting Michael to sleep. So Conrad Murray agreeing to use propofol this way was exactly where the doctor-patient relationship broke down. Because although he was Michael Jackson's personal doctor, his job was not to simply say yes, like be a yes man. His job was to say no when the thing Michael wanted was dangerous. Now some people might hear that and say, well, Michael was the one asking for it, and yes. According to Murray's version, Michael did ask for propofol. He allegedly begged for it. He allegedly believed it was the only thing that worked. But that still doesn't remove the responsibility from the doctor. Because Michael was not the medical professional in that room. He was the patient. He was exhausted. He was desperate.
And he couldn't have said it any better because, yeah, that's why I'm not even commenting, bro. He's putting it the best way I could put it as well. Like, you as the doctor, you need to be able to defend your patient because that is your job. You are assigned to do so. You're certified to do so. So it doesn't matter how desperate they can be. If they can't sleep, then you have to find other ways to actually sleep. Because if you end up using certain drugs, you are only prescribed certain drugs for a certain reason. You're not supposed to go over the limit. If you go over the limit, then it's highly likely he ended up. It's possible that he actually fitted himself. It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting one, yeah. Nah, but like onto the next right now. Let's get into GTA. Let's get into something more positive. What's interesting is that why do I feel like the reason the GTA 6 pre-order release today was because of MJ. Like it's Vice City, it's the 80s. It's just two and two together. I can't explain it. Well, stay tuned because we're going to be looking at it next. I want us to actually go on to the screenshots and actually look at the game and kind of break down what it's looking like because, oh man.
So from this screenshot, we can see a few things here. We can see that there is gun customization because we can see that Jason, it looks like he is holding the Colt Python, which is, we saw this gun earlier in the screenshots. It was like a biker character. His girlfriend was actually holding this revolver, but this one has a scope on it, which shows that we will have gun customization. Lucia appears to be holding some kind of revolver. It's a different one though. It's not the it does not look to me like it's the same one. But we also see here different hairstyles. We have different hairstyles for both Jason and Lucia, and we also see tattoos. So this is confirming to us numerous things: gun customization, tattoos, and hair customization as well.
They basically bring in the San Andreas customization of the cars, bring in the customization of GTA. I would say GTA. I would say GTA San Andreas, yeah, because it was hair, it was the cars. It's kind of like they able to do everything they want to do at this time in 2026 because now they actually have the technology to do it. That's kind of the aim, and I like where they're going. At least we'll be able to do a lot more than there weren't much limitations, because look at Michael, Franklin, and Trevor. You were able to customize them just a tad bit, maybe make their hair longer, or just put a line here and there. Nothing really hectic. I mean, San Andreas is what kind of gave you more of that freedom. But yeah, man, I mean, now we just got more technology that's gonna actually enhance everything and make things so much better. So that's gonna be so much fun.
And also looks like facial hair as well. Ultimate Edition, an executive collection of items threaded across all aspects of Jason and Lucia's story. Ultimate Edition. Welcome to Leonida, the state where anything goes. Seize everything this massive world has to offer with the Grand Theft Auto 6 Ultimate Edition. An exclusive collection of premium vehicles, weapons, apparel, and action around every corner. Ultimate Edition bonuses are threaded across all aspects of Jason and Lucia's story, with new items uncovered behind each chapter. In the Ultimate Edition, it's around $100. The 95.
Remember this car, man. Wow. So it is a Ferrari straight, huh?
Grotti Cheetah, Grotti's signature mid-90s sports car, an ode to shore drive. The 95 Grotti Cheetah is complete with a minimalist, retro-futuristic livery, available to punctuate later stage action. So old-style car, 1990s car. And I see that we're also going to have really unique, nice car interiors, too.
Yeah. Yeah, this is real nice.
And I see they got that Florida license plate with the orange on it. Okay, so this is the gun. Hawk and Little Morgan revolvers. His and hers version of this powerful revolver with classic Vice City styling sourced from the Versetti estate, including palm tree etched grips, engraved detailings, and high-performance scopes. Okay, so about this. I don't think the guns itself are a pre-order. I think the style of the guns, let me rephrase that. The guns itself are not part of the Ultimate Edition. It's the style of the guns, if you understand what I mean. It's that these guns, I'm pretty sure both of them are going to be included regardless if you have Ultimate Edition or not, but this specific style, the one with the scope, this is Ultimate Edition, because I'm pretty sure this is the exact same gun that we saw that female biker holding. She just didn't have the scope on it. And when it says, I know people are going to go crazy when it says from the Versetti estate, but Tommy Versetti does not exist in the HD universe, guys. This is just an Easter egg. This is just an Easter egg towards GTA Vice City. That's what that is primarily. Like a 357 or a 38 revolver. But I think that the specific paint on it, you see how you have the gold trigger, the gold hammer, you see how you have the palm tree hand grip, that's the part of the pre-order, and the scope on here. The guns itself, I'm pretty sure, are going to be in the game regardless. This style of the gun you won't have unless you have the Ultimate Edition. So you need to have Ultimate Edition. I know I said pre-order before, I'm sorry, but this is just for Ultimate Edition here specifically. Okay. Personalized variants, personalized sidearms with detailed engravings for Jason. Jason's Girardi ES9 pistol and Lucia's close K17 pistol. Okay. Hairstyle. This is definitely a different hairstyle than Lucia does not typically appear with that hairstyle. So they chose, for this, they chose hairstyles that the characters you don't normally see them with, just to show you the customization. So Jason's hair and Lucia's hair is very different, and we can see facial hair on Jason as well, too. Jason's safe house vehicle, switch gears and soak up the sun in an army-fatigued Dinka Enduro motorcycle or Crest kayak. So this is the same, the house that Jason was renting from Brian Heater. Again, his boss was also a drug runner. And the fact that one of the bikes is army fatigue, it could suggest that Jason is former military, but again, we don't know. It could just be a paint. I know there's many people are speculating on that, but we don't know that 100%. So this is what the bike's paint is. Yeah, very army-like paint. Okay, kayaking, we got that. Gondor retro build. Inject some muscle and classic stylings into Jason's well-worn vapid Ganado low-riding pickup with exclusive mods. So that's the pickup truck. Looks very similar, almost identical to Ryder's truck in GTA San Andreas. Ride Out Customs. Transform vanilla vehicles into magnificent works of art with detailed interiors, exquisite rims, and donk stylings. Only open for business with the Ultimate Edition. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, that right there. Yes, so apparently there is a mod shop that you can only access with the Ultimate Edition. There's a store in the game that you will be locked to. Does this mean you're not going to be able to customize cars unless...
Do you know what I'm thinking now? I'm thinking that you can customize in the same shop, but then you can only customize up to certain customizations. The rest will be locked, and it'll just tell you straight because you need to have the Ultimate Edition to be able to purchase this. I don't know. Could be that. Could go another way. I don't know.
you have Ultimate Edition, oh, that's something concerning. You probably will be able to customize customize your cars at like other locations, but it probably won't be as detailed as this one.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so
like being able to customize your wheel, literally your steering wheel, is insane.
Rockstar knows, they know how big some car people are in the GTA series, and so that's why they're locking this shop behind Ultimate Edition. I don't like this. I'll tell you this. I really don't like this. I don't like the idea of locking like an actual property and
the thing is, they want money. Like, that's the problem, unfortunately. And here, we're in this position where even some people are accepting that, okay, we're going to have to throw money in order to get what we want. And people are not understanding that, oh, we are the consumers. We're the ones who are supposed to be respected by the producers. Why are they treating us like this? You understand? But I feel like at this point, people have just gone way past the point of like retrospection of understanding, okay, yeah, like we get it. This ain't the right thing to do. Like, you can't be locking things out, bro. Like, I understand, obviously, in order, you just, like, make people work for it, at least in the game, you know? Because people have purchased. They've made the purchase. They're going to do online. If they're going to do online, you still want to charge them if you want to fix the car. You get what I mean? Makes no sense.
Actual business behind an Ultimate Edition. Like, if Ultimate Edition gives you like some skins for vehicles, okay, fine. But locking an actual business behind Ultimate Edition, no, I don't like that.
Like I said, if maybe they're gonna put that setting, oh, I wanna put the specific, just like in GTA 5, oh, there's something specific was locked, you were not able to access it there, it was gonna be the same thing, you understand? But no, if this is the direction they're going with, they're sellouts, bro. Rockstar is just a complete sellout, and I'm not gonna change my opinion on that, you know.
Sarah's unisex salon. Get signature salon styles for both Jason and Lucia, including facial hair for Jason, and makeup and nails for Lucia. Only open for business with the Ultimate Edition. So this is probably another business that's locked behind Ultimate Edition, but you're probably still going to be able to get tattoos even without Ultimate Edition, but this will probably be a more unique tattoo shop with probably even more stuff on it. And we can see Jason and Lucia, again, have different hairstyles, completely different. Very, very different hairstyle for Jason. Very different hairstyle for Lucia. Lucia can get her nails done too, so that's showing that first-person mode is going to have much more of an effect. Watercraft. So boats are going to play a much bigger role in GTA 6. Shih Tzu Squallow. Perfect for casting in Gambit Bay and reeling catches of all sorts. There will be fishing in the game. This gradient pink and blue Squallow, docked at Washington Beach, is made ocean ready with an explosive-laden weapons crate. Huh. Okay, so it's a vehicle with an explosive crate, weapons crate. Okay, this shows us the wildlife in the game. We will see
the mere fact that we're gonna be seeing dolphins for vibes is crazy, bro.
Dolphins. And we see Jason and Lucia on some kind of boat, probably relaxing here. It's another one of the boat. It's the same boat, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it is the same boat that they were on there. Vice City Police.
So yeah, man, they're gonna be able to catch us in the water no matter what. There's no escaping. This is gonna be fun, bro. In all honesty, this is looking like it's gonna be amazing. An amazing game, you know. It took many years for them to actually construct this. This is going to be a piece of work. Fine work. But, you know, just like I'm saying, man, this day is just something special. June 25, people. Remember this day, June 25th. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Canula Tonez. Please make sure to subscribe, click on that notification bell, and let me know what you think about this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.
I'm pressing the flow, I'm ready to go, I'm running the road, I'm running the road. Yes, I've been moving, my foot on the gas, I'm moving fast, I'm always improving.